Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General. Five drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Tuesday, as you can see. We now back over at the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy as always. Okay. In the last video segment presentation, we took a look at Snap-on's magnetic power sockets, just as well as their power adapters. In that last particular video, I also included two magnetic power sockets from the Duralast brand that comes within a 10-piece 10mm socket set, right? I felt the need to touch a little bit and rekindle on the information that was in that particular video, and I will credit that video with me going back into some details and some information about magnetic sockets due to a conversation that I was having with West Main Auto on his live stream. In this particular video, I'm going to do a follow-up because, when you open a can of worms, things just start to flow, all right? And you start to find other things when you dig a little bit more further into the rabbit hole. So this video and some of the information that I'm going to touch, we're going to, jump around a little bit in this particular video. And I'm going to dedicate this particular part of the video towards a conversation that I was having with another YouTube creator by the name of Davion Martinez. All right. But I ain't going to hold you up too much more longer in the introductory of things. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay. So pretty much I'm about to get, quite a few things out to the top of the tool cart. We're going to take a look at quite a few things. I'm going to go back a little bit, and jump back and forth a little bit with that Snap-on 1500 catalog because there are some things that I want to point out. So there will be, quite a bit of informative information to put out there, to the tool community, just as well as for some of those individuals out there who may not necessarily be mechanically inclined, all right, who actually look in on some of these tool reviews and try to obtain some information as far as, some of the equipment that we use in our automotive service trade and things like that of that nature, because we want to be correct with our information. We don't want to be putting out the wrong information. So I will be touching many different areas, so just follow along, stay tuned, and we're gonna get it. So walk with me. So in this video right here, we are going to be looking at the Snap-on brand. All right, if you just unfortunately didn't happen to catch the last 2 to 3 previous videos that I put out, I will leave those videos in the link of the description so that you can go back and take a look at some of those videos right there. All right, but what we're going to take a look at once again, we're going to go back into this catalog because there's some things that I want to point out, just as well as I'm going to get some items out. All right, and we're going to take a look at quite a few different things, and we're going to go a little bit more into depth in this particular video. So what you're taking a look at is the catalog 1500. This is the master catalog and updated catalog that Snap-on provides. All right. All right, so in this part of the video, I want you to pay, very close attention to what I'm about to show you in this particular video. All right, well, over here at this catalog, once again, this is the Snap-on 1500. And if you notice, I'm over here in 1/4-inch drive tools. All right, so what I want you to take notice to, right, what we're looking at is impact accessories. All right, and the part number of these locking extensions is 105TM IXL. All right, quite sure most technicians and most mechanics are more than likely familiar with these. These are not nondescript to mechanics and individuals in the field, but if you may not necessarily have a mechanical background, these are what you call locking extensions. Okay, these are supposed to be impact graded. So what we're going to take a look at is the description, okay? And it says that it is a quick release lock and sleeve provided with secure connection and as easy socket removal with a neural release collar for easy one-handed operation, even with slippery hands. The female drive ends recessed to accommodate, all right? It's using the word to accommodate a new style impact gun. It states that it has a positive pin lock retains socket securely, which on these they actually have like a spring, okay? And it says that it is a heavy duty shank for high torque applications, okay? Now, this is what it states in its impact accessories. So these are locking extensions, as you can see here. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at where we're at now, okay? These are your power accessories. So these are locking extensions just as well. So just to give you a quick part number, okay, which is 103 TMLPA, all right? And these are your locking power adapters. So I want you to take notice to this, is that it states that they're used with electric and cordless drills and screwdrivers that accept quarter-inch shanks, manufactured from the highest quality proprietary steel, providing optimum strength and durability. With a neural sleeve provides easy attachment and removal of sockets even with the greasiest hands. With one-handed locking mechanism with a ball retention ensures socket retention and allows for faster socket attachment and removal. With a black oxide finish helps protect against corrosion for longer tool life. All right, so now you're taking a look at these extensions, okay? And these are power accessories. A lot of individuals may think that these are impact graded just as well as the magnetic sockets that I was showing in the last previous video. But I want you to take notice down here to the description, okay? Which these are not impact graded. So as you see, it states, do not use chrome or industrial finish hand tools with impact drivers. Do not use power accessories with impact drivers. These products can expose you to chemicals which are known to the state of California to cause cancer and reproductive harm. Okay, so this is what's basically stated for these particular extensions. I have these extensions and I have this set, which is the 6-inch, the 4-inch, the 2-inch. So I'm going to get this set out so that you could take a good look at it. Then we're going to dive a little bit more further into depth and details. All right, so you can see the part number, which is 103 TMLPA. All right, so what you're basically taking a look at in this catalog is the actual tools here as far as what you see. All right, and they have a hex shank adapter. All right, these do have an industrial finish. So, most people, they assume that these are impact graded. But as you can see here on record and on file, that they're basically not impact graded. So there's quite some things that I'm about to show you when it comes to Snap-on's extensions. Okay, even when it comes down to some of the extensions that are supposedly supposed to be graded for impact use. But the thing about it is that in the catalog in the online site, it also states that do not use chrome or industrial finish hand tools with impact drivers. So when they make the statement of industrial finish hand tools, is going to play a big major key in some things that I'm about to demonstrate and what I'm about to show. Just as well as I'm showing from the catalog, I will go over to the tab and get the tab up and go into the actual site so that you can see certain things basically for yourself just as well. Okay. All right, now we're still looking at quarter-inch drive tools, all right? And I want you to take notice to this particular quarter-inch extension set, okay, which is stated that they are for impact. But if you take notice to the specifications next to each stock number, the stock number represents the 2-inch, the 4-inch, and the 6-inch extension. And it's stating that it has an industrial finish. And these are supposed to be impact. But once again, do not use chrome or industrial finish hand tools with impact drivers. Just as well as it also shows and states of a warning symbol in the impact, non-impact, and to wear your safety glasses. Okay, so when I see something like this is kind of confusing now because you're grading these to be impact, okay, but they actually have an industrial finish. So but once again, it also states do not use chrome or industrial finish hand tools with impact drivers. So you're kind of confusing me, okay, a little bit when it comes to the extensions. Now I'm just basically showing this in 1/4 inch drive at the moment. I'm going to go a little bit more further. All right, as you're taking notice to this set here, which is 103 TIMX or MAX, this is that same set here, which is the 103 TMX. Okay, so this is what they're basically talking about. Now, these are different because these are not locking, okay? These actually are designed to accommodate an anvil. So when they use, the word of accommodate, not necessarily stating that they're actually for use, but you can accommodate. Now, don't get me wrong, technicians and mechanics, they've been using these, on impact drivers and, using them for what they assume that they're supposed to be used for, but it's clearly stating otherwise, and it's not advising. Okay, so, some of the information is kind of misdirected. You understand, when you just happen to see do not use chrome or industrial finish hand tools with impact drivers. Okay, once again, as you can see, the part numbers here. All right, so now we're gonna move along. All right, now I'm taking a look at 1/2 inch drive tools, and I'm looking at this particular set here, 304 IMX. All right, this is a 1/2 inch drive. As you can see, we're in 1/2 inch drive tools. What I happen to notice about this particular set is that this set is actually in industrial finish. Okay, we normally use 1/2 inch drive for heavy applications. All right, this same set that you are taking a look here in the catalog, that is this particular set here. Okay, which is a 4-piece impact extension with universal joint. So these are, technically impact graded. All right, they have a retaining spring at the top. Okay, and you would normally apply these to your 1/2 inch drive anvils for those individuals who may not necessarily have a mechanical background, just to put that information out there for those few individuals who look in on some of these videos. All right, but like I was stating, when it came to the 1/4 inch sets, how once again, when you come down here and they state for non-impact and to do not use chrome or industrial finish with hand tools or with power impact drivers. But on a particular, I believe it was the first option that I showed where it stated that the particular extensions were used to accommodate, some of these particular tools. But it's kind of confusing as far as the specification, because some of the equipment is graded impact and then you have some others that are not graded impact. All right, so like I was stating, there are technicians and individuals out there who have been using them. All right, but my thing is that if something shares off or something gets damaged or cracked, or once again it shoots off like a projectile, now we may have a little bit more of an understanding to why. Okay, because now we may now know that there's certain particular tools that may possibly be being used incorrectly. All right, or for the improper applications. So now I'm over here at the tablet, and here we have power accessories. See if I could pull this up for you real quick. Okay, so what you have here is your lock and power adapters. All right, we are on the site. I will go to that 3-piece set. All right, so as you can see the set here, and if you take notice to the anvil, how they're spring tension, spring loaded here at the front. So when you go to the specifications, and you will always take notice to the warnings that are provided. So it's basically showing you that these are not for impact graded or for impact tools. All right. So anytime you see that and see the symbols, just as well as always wear your safety glasses, safety first. Okay. Once again, these do have industrial finish to them. So once again, there are individuals who are familiar with these, where we use them in our cordless impacts and things like that. All right. So briefly, we was in power accessories. So now I'm gonna go to impact accessories. Okay. And here we have our extensions. Okay, and this was the 3-piece set that I was showing you, and you can see the part number. All right. If we scroll down a little bit, now if you take notice to the warnings, these are impact graded, so you do not see a non-impacting symbol. The only thing that you see is caution, and make sure that you always wear your safety goggles or safety glasses. Right, safety first. So this is the differential between the two. Okay. All right. So with this information, this is something, that I want individuals, especially some of those younger individuals looking to obtain, a position in the automotive service field, just as well as some of those DIYs and weekend warriors and things like that of that nature that is out there. Because when you take a look at these extensions here, okay, it's really hard to take a notice to the indifferentials because of both of them have black oxide finish. Okay. But once again, these are not impact graded, but these are claimed to be impact graded. All right. Which, they don't really look any different from one another. So just hypothetically say, say you was in a store and you just happen to see these extensions. Okay. An individual may turn around and say, well, they may prefer to get the locking extensions, but they may need them for impact use, not knowing or not realizing that these are not graded for impact use. Okay. If you notice up top here, how it has a spring. Okay. How I was explaining in the last particular video when it came to the magnetic sockets and how they were spring loaded and how sockets shatter and crack, okay, and how a magnet can shoot out like a projectile. So if you have a spring that's holding this locking mechanism, and then just hypothetically say you had a socket on the front anvil of this extension, and say it either snapped or the spring popped and this part of the extension comes shooting off. This is why it's always important to wear your safety glasses and things like that, because if you notice here, there's a ball detent on one side, but if you take notice towards this end, when you pull the collet, and as you see how that adjusts back and forth, okay, possibly the spring is holding this in. So that's not to say that this upper portion could not shoot off the extension with the socket itself. All right, when it comes to extensions like this that are more common and more standard, it does have a retaining ring that sits like a friction ring that sits at the top of the extension here, if the camera lens will focus in good enough. But it's less of a chance of anything falling off. If anything that you would have to worry about these is that them actually sharing and breaking off in half. You will mainly more find that when using these improperly on a more heavier application, just so to say, like something or a fastener that's over torqued, and say you was using a 1/4 inch on a 3/8 drive application, and you was using higher end sockets with, say for instance, adapter that runs from 1/4 inch to 3/8 drive on this particular extension, you could possibly shear off the upper portion. There has been times where I've used torque sticks with impact wrenches where that they sheared off completely through the middle, and it would look like the torque stick was cut in half, and you would never realize that it sheared off and broke off so smooth. Like the break off was so smooth, it looks almost as if it was cut with a saw. All right, straight down the middle. So it's things like this that you definitely got to be careful of. You want to be aware of what you're purchasing and what you're using some of this equipment for. All right. And one last thing to mention, okay, always keep your safety glasses either on you, on, or around you, very close. All right, just as well as some earplugs if you're using air pneumatic. Not so much of cordless equipment, but when it comes to air pneumatic impact guns, just as well as ratchets and things like that, keep these things around you. They're very, very important. All right. All right, so we're gonna end this video right about here. Everybody have a great morning. Okay, prosperous one just as well, and keep it safe and blessed as always. This is your U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. Into that next tool review, that next tool haul, that next modification video, we gonna check you later. Peace.